And welcome to episode 4 of season 2 of the Retro Brothers UK. We are UK. My name's Dave.
My name's Andrew, and we specifically are in the north of the UK. So if you don't understand us, we don't understand ourselves.
Think about Sean Bean. We don't look like Sean Bean, but you know we've got similar-ish accents.
Think about Sean Bean in everything he's done because he has that sort of accent.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but welcome back. We've had a bit of a hiatus while we've been doing our own things. Holiday, not vacation. Holiday. And we've been doing other things in between. We've been talking about the current content of how we've been going and everything. So it's full speed ahead. We've got plenty to talk about in the show notes today, I see, Andrew.
We certainly have. Yeah. And we would have had another show, but we're going to talk about why we ain't got another show, why we didn't have that one up there.
Yeah, that's annoying.
But to be honest, we can summarize that show in 5 minutes without
probably not even that.
Without showing any footage we shouldn't be showing.
So let's talk about what we were supposed to have talked about a while back, and we said we'd do dare I say, a reaction video to the release or the announcement of Windows 11, and it wasn't fake, and I was wrong. I apologize right now. I think you were right. I think you said it was real.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll bow down to you on that one. I thought it was fake. I just thought it would look like Linux, to be honest with you.
It probably still might do to you. You know, it just looks like Linux then.
It does. They're taking a lot off. Yeah, anyway. So, Windows 11 getting ever closer, Andy.
Yeah, when's it? End of November this year.
It's towards end of this year.
And we've got a lot of people still haven't moved up to Windows 10. Mainly in the business world, but they haven't.
No, and I think, let's face it, especially enterprise, that they take a long time to move up. But yeah, I think there's going to be plenty of early adopters who will just click that button to upgrade as soon as it's arriving. And I think there's going to be plenty of people who will stick on 10 because 10's okay at the moment. It does okay.
And it is free, I'm told. Well, yes, so it looks like it's free.
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, I mean, let's face it, it's Microsoft that could change their mind. But yeah, I mean, I think they announce that Windows 10 users, and I believe Windows 8.
Yeah.
I could be lying.
I think those on 7. I think those on 7 and 8 that were allowed free upgrades to Windows 10 will be able to get Windows 11, and obviously you'll get Windows 11 anyway you can go to particular places and just get it for 20 quid. I think at some places, I don't think it's too expensive. Sometimes they get deals going, but should they charge for it? Mac don't charge for theirs. Linux don't charge for theirs.
I suppose it depends on who you're talking about in the Linux world. I
suppose it's not there in hardware. Well, I'm talking consumer, I suppose.
Yeah, to an extent, yeah. You can pay for support.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's getting closer. Is it more stable? I hear that the Explorer.exe drops, which is kind of the important part of Windows. That crashes. It's in beta now, I believe.
It is. So it's I don't know if it's beta, but I know. So you can get it if you're in the Microsoft Windows Insider program, you can definitely get a preview.
Yeah. There's a build in the beta channel of the Insider. Yeah.
And they have removed the silly requirements of needing a TPM2 chip, which basically cuts any hardware out.
So just to go down that route, on the same night that we attempted to do a video of reacting to the announcement, and was so enamored by the spangly many bands that one of the presenters were wearing, and I'm sure is very important in Microsoft, but quite frankly, I don't care. So we were so enamored by that, we missed a few details. Our video, by the way, for the reaction decided just to disappear. It got took down. I'm guessing Microsoft doesn't like the occasional negative comment about the presenters wearing too much jewelry. I don't know. Who knows? I don't really know why it got took down. I just got a notice, and that
was it?
wasn't
Oh,
there.
was it the fact that we completely ripped their preview? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah,
I,
because we
I, think,
completely
I think,
played it.
yeah, I think it's to do with his
Yeah,
bangles
I think
and
so
his
too.
and his two watches that he had on his hands and that kept changing hands.
It's, you know what? I'm sure it's one for each coast of the US.
It could be, but does that mean he's split in two?
Yeah, yeah, all
Microsoft
the way
got
down.
a transmat beam or transporter.
Do you not know that Microsoft are now doing transporters?
Well,
Guaranteed to kill you and make you a replication of yourself, though, so it's not quite there yet.
yeah. Well, they probably invented it and then broke it with an update.
Your head's between your legs.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a thing. It's slowly getting there. What do you think so far? That some of the feedback you've seen?
Yeah, I mean it's. I mean the interface looks quite nice. There's some good stuff in there. They've they've gone back down. They were going to force you down some apps route. So Microsoft Teams is integrated. I don't know if it's their way of saying Apple have got FaceTime, we've got Teams, so maybe they've integrated. They're integrating it, and that's going to be their standard.
That's
But
not really the same thing at all, is it? Let's face it.
well, it's not. But yeah, I don't know why they've been. Well, it's integrated.
It's on its way. Most used
But
teams.
yeah, when that video, it showed a lot of people. I don't know. It didn't do a lot for creatives, and to be honest, when they're using the pen, some of the interface still looked clunky. Still looked like just use your mouse. It wasn't. It still looked like something it wasn't designed for pen. It is that that with pen and the icons were very small. So I don't know. Yeah, it looks like
we came into it, just so the folks at home know, we came into it being quite negative. It's like, oh, here we go again. And actually, to be honest with you, there were a few things in there that by the end of it, we're going, okay, well, that might be quite good. Like you want to be able to run Android apps, well, not native, but containerized, I guess.
I think that's a game changer for them.
Oh, it's massive. I mean, that's obviously a hit on the Chromebooks. But that's huge. I mean, you can now play Candy Crush on Windows without downloading the app version from your big menu item hiding in this corner.
And they've got rid of live tiles as well.
Live tiles, yeah. I'm not too sure about the middle menu bar. I think they're just trying to move away from being the standard Windows look and feel, and they are trying. I think we did say we just don't want to see multiple layers of having to get down to one setting, where you could control panel, open up the applet or whatever, and then just find this where these days you have to go through a few weird layers and so I'm sure it'll get there. It's on its way, and I will not be upgrading when they offer straight away. I will be waiting for a while.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I don't use Windows. Well, I use it for this. I do have, obviously, I've got my Steam games in there, but my PC is just an HP all-in-one small form factor with Intel HD graphics, and I think it's 7th generation, so it's with 16 gig of RAM, so it's nothing taxing special. Keep thinking of getting a dedicated gaming machine again.
Well, if you get anything like mine, it's not even a year old. 32 gigs of RAM, 2070 Super NVIDIA card, all great spec. Downloaded can my machine run Windows 11? Sorry, yeah, Windows 11, and they said 12 then. And it went no.
Yeah.
You can't
And
go away.
that's the issue. And that's what people are kicking off about, you know. Even Apple aren't that bad, you know, because they obviously people moan about them doing the same. Although to be honest, I think you can even put their latest OS on a machine from 2013. So come on, Microsoft, surely.
Yeah, especially when things are hard to get hold of at the moment. You know, silicon's really hard to get hold of in terms of CPUs and chips in general. Supply's low.
Well, I mean, there's nothing. I didn't see any capabilities in there that needed brand new hardware. Something there were no augmented reality or anything ridiculous. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know unless it's something that's specific to Surface.
Maybe,
I
and
just
maybe they're just trying to lock down machines a little bit more. But uh, I'm sure, like you say, I'm sure it'll get sorted. But it's on its way. We're sorry that our reaction video didn't arrive. Thank you very
no.
much to whoever brought it down.
It was 50% take the mic, 50% authentic.
Oh, it's very authentic. We're always
Yeah,
authentic.
well, yeah, but that's serious then. But I think, yeah. So yeah, decide what you will on why it was taken down. But there you go.
So next on my list is, and I do talk about it quite a bit because it is quite a big thing. Microsoft Flight Simulator. God bless you. They've brought it out for Xbox, so you can now play a fairly decent flight simulator on your Xbox. And from some of the videos I've seen and some of the streamers I've seen, it looks actually quite good. Unfortunately, they balked the PC version. Um, there's a lot of feedback at the moment, a lot of crash to desktops. So even I tried playing online. I was watching a Twitch play the other night. They were doing a group flight. So I thought I'll get on that one. Fired it up, got on the plane, clicked on turning on the battery on the plane, gone. Tried it again, gone. Tried it third time, it went on. Started flying, and it went again. So thanks for that. What I am happy to report in general, Xbox people, and I'll take it back, and not flying around like it's GTA. It's not it's not attracting those sort of people in general. There's a lot of new players on there, so that's helped the whole game in general get more traffic and get more people playing it. It's working okay. They're fixing it, and every so often you get. I think I had about 500k download last night. That's not much. Just to fix a few things, I guess. So, be it as it will, Xbox players now can do simming. I don't think I fancy ever doing that on a controller, and from what I hear, it can be quite difficult. But
Yeah, I don't even like Elite Dangerous on my Xbox anyway. I don't. I tend to yeah, it's okay, but it's good on big. It's really good on big screen, and I'm sure Flight Simulator is as well actually. So
it's a beautiful simulator. It
won't
really
mind
is.
looking. I've only got the Xbox One X, so it'd be good to know if it's 4K on that version. So I don't know, I might have a look at a demo.
Yeah, be it as it will, Xbox has now a flight simulator on there. Have a go, see how you feel about it. I believe that if you're paying for the Xbox Gold subscription or whatever it's called on Xbox now, you get
Game
it for
Pass,
free.
yeah.
Game Pass. You get it for free. It's in there.
I've
It
just let
downloads
mine
about
now,
80
actually.
gig.
Yeah.
And if you're on PC, get the Xbox for PC, which sounds bizarre, and get the subscription on there, and you get it for free on there as well. So there you go. Raspberry
No
Pi,
excuse.
no excuse.
Yeah, Raspberry Pi 400. So obviously, as we've said at the start, some of us had an holiday. I actually went to Devon, and being in a holiday home, I suppose people seem to call them now. To me, it's just it's still a caravan, but people have to call them holiday homes. I got a Raspberry Pi 400. It turned up we were setting off on the Sunday, and it turned up on this Saturday morning. So I had a day and a little bit to shoot an unboxing video, which I did for our channel. So we will do something on the Pi 400 actually. And I tried to put recall box on it. But I put an image on actually, so I got an image for recall box, put that on. But unfortunately, this is where this is where I think people don't do images properly. They've obviously they've just taken an image of the partition and not the full SD card or the disk. Because what's happened, and this is on a few actually, loads of them are doing it. Goes on there, it's 256 meg, so I got a 512 meg SD card, put it on there, and it needs 200. It fills up 252.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
So it doesn't leave much free. So when I shut it down, loaded it back up, it didn't keep any of the settings. Some of the games didn't work. I couldn't expand the drive easily because I had 512, so I couldn't even do anything. Couldn't even download the latest updates because there were a massive bug in it, and it needed an update. Couldn't even do that, so total waste really on that. So I didn't. But I wanted to. So recall box is slightly different to RetroPie. It's the interface and the way it uses the emulation programs as well for each system, and it does look good actually, because most people use the RetroPie, but the interface it looks really good. There seems to be more systems available as well, and it does a lot of I don't know if RetroPie does this now, but on Recall Box there's a section just for parts, so it actually actual parts that people have done for ARM, they're in there. And it does look good. It just didn't work. So if you're going to spend time doing it, guys, don't rush like I did and spend 5, 6, because you really do need a lot of time. It takes a while to download the image. Download it before, if you're going to go out and buy one, before you even buy it, download the image. It took 6 hours for the image to download, so that you were doing that on Saturday.
So just to correct what you said earlier, you said meg. I think you meant gig.
Gig. Sorry, not meg. Yeah, we're not.
I'm gonna say otherwise you are on a really bad connection.
Yeah, gig. It was 256 gig, and which is absolutely massive. There is actually a 512 gig version, and you can actually demo, because you don't own them, 52,000 games, 28 different systems. Obviously, you have to buy them if you want to play them. But Recall Box, you can configure it more. It looks like you can configure it more. It's not been long out for the Pi 4, to be honest, but it is there. So yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't get it to work. So you've got to spend time, plan. If you're doing a retro, if you're doing so, you need time, because it's not just a 5-minute thing. And this is where people go, I can't be bothered with it, and then they go out and buy one of these Chinese consoles with so many games on.
That's the thing, and we've talked about this before, haven't we? In a previous episode, where you can download and configure it yourself and go through it, but you get plenty more games. Or you can go out there and buy something where it's either an online store or it's sort of pre-configured with the games in there. I felt your pain because I had to go through this when I built the arcade cabinet. It's even worse when you're trying to work out why it's going wrong and it doesn't recognise the controller or the buttons, or if it does, it's not quite right. The access is the wrong way around. So when you're pushing up, it's going down, so you have to reverse it. And each game has its own settings. So when you talk about imaging, I totally understand that. I think half the problem is that what they do is they don't leave the image with enough space for the settings. Because if you download the image, it's going to image the partition at that size. What they don't do is they think, well, okay, well, let's leave maybe a couple of gig at the end of that image. Just to, 2 gig space just to allow for settings, so when you do reboot, you don't lose it. Because there's nothing worse than going through configuration and feeling that pain. I have been there. But you know what? It's worth having a look at. So what's the name of it again?
So Recall Box.
Recall Box. So the plan was to go down into Devon and play some games on your
so
Pi
because
400.
well, it forecast rain, so I thought brilliant. Pi 400, best of both worlds because it'll emulate computers as well as consoles. And also, people don't realize the Pi 400 has got a slightly faster CPU in it than the Pi 4. So it's a slightly different processor, so the clock speed's slightly better. So that's why another reason why I went for it. Nice and clean. You probably by the time you buy a Pi 4, even an 8 gig, 4 gig or 8 gig, and buy the case and buy everything for it, you might as well get a Pi 400.
And in fact, actually, I've been to a customer site today where we put a Pi 4 on their network.
Yeah.
Because it's not run by us, their network. So we had to be able to have something on there so we can put TeamViewer on. Work perfectly in the office. Work perfectly in my home office. When we took it out there, it stayed online for about a day. Turns out that the SD card holder is red hot on it. It basically bust the SD card. So yeah, they've got some problems there, I think. I like the Pi 400. I do have it in its case, kind of here on the shelf. Unfortunately, collecting dust at the moment. And that's the thing about it. I have a Raspberry Pi. Actually, it's still running Pi-hole down the side here. And you do tend to find projects that you go, oh, that spare Raspberry Pi is perfect. I haven't found anything for the 400 yet.
I just thought it was perfect for being a retro game.
Atari ST emulator or something like that, where you can do a bit of coding or whatever.
Because it's the keyboard's there for you. Just use it. Although what I'd like to do really, obviously, it comes with its own SD card. With the retro what the Pi OS, I can't remember what it's called now.
Is it used Nubes?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, but there was an update on it, so it looks good, and there's some good stuff on it. And I don't mind. I was just going to put that. So one of my videos is to look what it actually contains, because I think people just seem to discard it and right straight away it's now going to be an emulation, or it's going to be this, or it's going to be that. And I'm going to probably one of the videos is use it as if this is what it comes with, as if this is the computer. What does it do? And I'm going to look at it, and hopefully we can, we'll discuss it at a later date.
So let's just think about that. Now, I said a while back that I'd potentially be tempted to use the 400 as my development kit for this game that you and I are going to release at end of August. Be it half done, be it loading screen, be it doesn't matter. It's got to be a game. It's got to be on. It's got to be itch.io. It's got to be on there with your name. It's got to be legit. We're gonna have to put a link up there. It doesn't matter how bad it is. So, are you going to use it? Are you going to do some development on it for the end of August?
On the Pi 400, Pico. Do you know what? I might use it for that. Can you use the Pi 4? I don't think you can.
Can't see why not. You should be able to. You should be able to install something on there that does the development. It doesn't have to be any of the ones that doesn't have to be Pico. It could be something else.
Yeah, which I did find another one, didn't I? Because couldn't be bothered looking at Pico, so I went, as I always do. You
went down the rabbit hole.
Sure, then I go and find something else. I can't remember what it was, so I'll have to watch one of our previous shows to remind me.
I'm not too sure whether Pico does actually load up on there, but there's plenty of other development kits out there which I'm sure would run.
Yeah, you can actually get Pico for the RetroPie now, believe it or not.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, there's games. Yeah.
In that case, surely it must run on the Raspberry Pi. It does. It runs on a Raspberry Pi. I've just checked the requirements. So, Pico 8.
Yeah.
Development.
Pico 8. Now I remind him actually with Basic 8. I found it one on Steam.
Oh, you ain't gonna better run that. No Steam on the old Raspberry Pis.
No, but you can put Windows 11 on a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it'll probably take me until end of August to get that even working.
So there you go. The challenge is still on, and we are supposed to be still doing this game. Vastly running out of time. I've got other projects on the go at the moment, physically in the house.
Yeah, I think I might have to. So, dear employer, I feel sick for the next 2 weeks because I have to do some development on Pico 8.
So yeah, officially, Mr. Employer, I'm also feeling quite ill, and I could do with those few weeks off as well. Saying days, very optimistic. Well, there you go. So I might pull out the Raspberry Pi 400 at some point over the summer holidays if I get a chance. I'm feeling the tension that there probably isn't going to happen with what's going on at the moment, but we shall see. You've got on there RetroPie versus Recall for retro gaming. Is that part of your Raspberry Pi 400?
Yeah, well, so this is the source. This is what I looked at to say what. I did look at some YouTube videos as well, but you know what? But this was the page they used to source. So there's obviously, so we've got RetroPie, we've got Recall Box, but there is actually two others. I've never heard of Lacquer.
That seems to ring a bell, Lacquer.
At all. I've definitely not heard of that one. But I mean, not many systems seem to run on it.
No, but it's not sometimes always a bad thing. Sometimes if they've got it working well with the emulators they've got, there's a few in there. I mean, there's 3DO, PlayStation, DS, arcade, Game Boys, all the different versions, Sega systems, Lynx.
I mean, one with the most on, and it seems to do more Amiga stuff, is Batacera. Obviously, you can get that for Windows as well. Yeah,
it does seem to be more.
I think it's
home
not as
oriented
as well. But I mean, one thing I was going to do, and I think it's Batacera that you can use on Windows. So basically, I was going to create. This was one thing. Maybe this is what I do with, or I get another cheap. So at the moment, with Windows 11 coming out, needing better hardware, and people moving up to Windows 10, there's a lot of Windows or old PCs getting chucked out. I'm thinking of buying. Let's see, I was going to buy one for no more than £100, and I'm going to make it into an emulation machine, a PC, because it's Linux based. Put it on there and see what it can run.
It's worth a go.
So that's probably what I might do next as my project.
After you're developing the game.
Well, yeah.
So, Fear Street.
Yeah. So speaking of let's stay on. So if nobody's watched it on Netflix now, there's a trilogy of films being released by Netflix called Fear Street. There's Fear Street 1994, 1978, and 1666. But the first one is 1994. And in there, heavily featured is an Amiga 4000. So it's got a normal teenage kid at school with an Amiga 4000 in his bedroom.
In '94.
Yeah, now they don't look
Okay.
don't look a rich family, don't look rich. Now you tell me 1994 Amiga 4000 weren't cheap.
No, I mean, '94. It certainly started to decline a little bit. A
Yeah,
lot, in fact, by '94. But yeah, even if you could have expected people to start shifting the 4000s as a second-hand machine, you're still talking a lot of money.
yeah.
Just
And
purely because of the cards in them.
I saw him playing a platform game, and I thought he must be playing Mega Drive. No, and it panned down at an Amiga 4000. I thought, God, that's a weird.
It's
Well, a weird choice for a movie.
yeah.
So somebody who made the movie must have been an Amiga fanboy.
Does seem like a really weird choice. I mean, there must be thousands of really old beige-looking PCs. You could quite, yeah. I mean, maybe they're just going for the nostalgia. Maybe they're just going for a bit of attention to detail.
Either that or they're carrying on the Commodore thing, because I don't know if you've ever watched it. So on Amazon, there's a program called Halt and Catch Fire.
No, don't ring a
Again,
bell.
again, it's retro. It's basically a take on the story of Compaq stealing or reverse engineering IBM's
All
code
right,
to
yeah.
PC compatible. But obviously, it's not in this series. It's not Compaq. So the first one starts off in 1981, stroke 82, but the people that are in it and coding, they use Commodore 64s, and in some of them they're using VIC 20s, which doesn't seem it seems a bit weird. But moving forward into series 2 and 3, it's mid 80s online gaming, and again they're making all the games on Commodore. It's the Commodore that goes up on to bulletin boards, and you can do online network gaming. So it's a good. You want to definitely recommend
worth watching.
21
yeah.
to you. Yeah, it's a really good show. It's definitely good. Definitely worth watching. But it's sort of reminding me of that a little bit. And the fact is, obviously they've carried on. Well, again in America, they've carried on the Commodore theme. When apart from the Commodore 64 in America, I don't think there were much love for Commodore. The UK and certainly Europe.
Yeah, it was more European, wasn't it? Yeah. Really centric. But so Fear Street's definitely worth watching.
Fear Street's definitely worth it. It's horror.
Just for the nostalgia.
It's full of nostalgia, and it's full of So if they did do an horror film in the early 90s, it's very much in that vein. And then when you watch the second one, 1978, is very much slasher gore 70s. So that even right, this is the year. So the films are even going to be that. So yeah, they're really good, but they follow on, and they are based on books as well. But they're good movies.
Make sure you watch it in the right order as well.
Yeah, kudos to Netflix. They do release some great Netflix exclusives, and like all the others do. I'm not advocating.
But for anything, just watch the 1994 version, just to spot that Amiga 4000.
Yeah.
And again, write in if you feel.
Tell us what game it is as well.
Yep.
Tell us what game it is, because I've got a feeling that game is not a Commodore. It's not an Amiga 4000 game.
Well, that's not going to be good, is it?
No, because when I instantly when I saw it, I went, that's a Mega Drive, and then obviously I'm thinking that's not an Amiga 4000 game. But yeah, tell us.
Anybody who knows the game recognises it.
Yeah,
right in. Arcade cabinets, got one.
Yeah, so
Simmer storage, need to fix it.
I think I've mentioned them before. Arcade 1UP. Now this is a company that's and they've actually got better in time. So they properly license arcade cabinets. So if you click on the website, obviously the latest one to come out to pre-order is The Simpsons. But they've also licensed Marvel, X-Men, the Street Fighter cabinets, Pac-Man. They've even got Outrun, so there's a seated one further down. There's even a table, but yeah, so they are really good. Although I have seen people buy these, strip it out, and put a like a Raspberry Pi in. It's like, why would you do that? Why don't you just buy your own cabinet?
Because, to be honest, making your own cabinet, putting it all together, can be actually quite arduous.
Yeah, there's that. But these, when you look at them, the branded, I just think they look really cool. They've got
They're
the
amazing looking machines. Yeah.
yeah, they're really good. But my main gripe on this is US based. It's US. However, they have started to come into the UK. So if you use Smiths in the UK, I've started seem to be selling them, and they're not, they're decent price. So you've got Mortal Kombat cabinet at 349 Legacy Edition. I think it's got 4 games on it. The Pac-Man Legacy Edition, 12 games. Let's say what games are. Oh yeah, so well, actually no. So it's got Pac-Man, Pac-Land, Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man, Pac and Pal, Pac-Mania, Galaxian, Gallagher, Dig Dug 2, Map It, and Rompers. So some good titles there.
I mean, I'm not too sure what the size is. So what we're talking, 57.8-inch height.
So they are fairly low, but if you look, a lot of them now come with the risers. So you get a riser to put at the bottom to make it bigger, so it's full size. Now in the UK, the risers are also they've got the transfers on as well, because a lot of the risers that you get from are just plain black. So if you buy a Pac-Man unit, it comes with a Pac-Man themed riser at the bottom.
So we're talking just under 5 foot then for these cabinets. 57.8. You're talking. I'd say you're talking just about 4.9-ish feet. I would have thought. So that's a pretty decent size, to be honest with you. I mean, if you look at the pricing, 350. Sometimes you don't even get that what they call the half tabletop ones, where just you get the top bit and not the full cabinet.
I mean, the good thing is you can get the stools as well. The stools look great. It's they're slightly thinner than normal arcade cabinets, but they've got the tallness in them. Now, to me, I think these all look cool.
I think they look really good.
I'd definitely look at getting one.
Be very careful with that, because you end up with a cabinet in your room somewhere, and it's like shouldn't be there, but you don't want to move it.
Oh, you see, next time Retro Brothers is on, the cabinet could be in that corner.
It could, yeah. Mortal Kombat actually looks quite good.
I mentioned it, yeah. No, I think they look great. I just like the fact it's got all the artwork on. It's themed, and they only do make so many as well. I've noticed in the past, there was a very, very much sought after Space Invaders one, and you cannot get that now for love or money. If you go on eBay, £1,000.
So it's worth an investment then.
It's definitely worth an investment, because the flat packs, they're just they fit in your car almost.
No, I like that. So you have to build it yourself then, essentially.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's so many sides.
I'd love to know what hardware they've got inside there. So is it a standard USB controller because most of them these days, you've got your button, your controller, all go via wires. Data chain back to a USB controller, which then goes to a device. Now, whether or not they've done the same here, I would love to know what they're using to power this. Whether you can maybe tap into it and, like you said, do a Raspberry Pi sort of, or is it? You can.
I've seen people take their main board out that they have, because it is on it's on they do their own main board, so you can take that out and put a Raspberry Pi in. Because I've seen people do it. I've seen people do a messy job of it inside, but on the outside it looks great. But so you can. Would you, just for the even £349 for the cabinet?
Well, I think we spent around about 200 for a flat pack.
Yeah,
and then we had to buy the controllers, which are around over 60-ish quid. For the controls, and you got your wires that you've got to get. You've got to then spray it. You've got to put the trimming on. By the time you finish, you are probably pushing easily 350. And that wasn't even including the screen because I already had a screen that I put in. So then you've got the monitor in there as well. I mean, I'm not too sure what sort of monitor going to these devices, but
no, I don't either. I mean, these are just 17-inch color LCD screens, but I don't know what. Don't really say what make they are, but
it's a monitor, I guess. At the end of the day, it's a screen.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So
it's not. It's a good price. I think if you're talking, I mean, I could quite easily see this at like £500.
Yeah, I mean, you could. I mean, to be honest, the good one is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a cabinet because it's got a 2-player section on it. It's slightly bigger, so I think that will sell.
Yeah, it's
because
got
people
really
buy. Yeah, and it seems to be cheaper as well.
329. Yeah.
But that's because you're only getting 2 games with that, and obviously with Pac-Man you get, okay.
Oh, so you've actually got 4 players on that, haven't you? On the Turtles.
Yeah,
That's
Street Fighter
really
2-player onto it.
Very tempting, but no, because I've already got a cabinet and I need to fix that first. So no.
So
anybody who's not got an arcade,
the brilliant again. There's a table down there, £449, which again they're normally a lot more expensive. Pac-Man tables. That's out in November 2021. That's been coming out for a few years as that. But again, 12 games in one, so that's the table version of the. Now, a table version for me, I'd have that it'd be in my living room as a coffee table.
Oh, totally, or in a man cave. That totally leads to just you don't need to do anything with it. It'll look good.
Yeah,
and, fantastic. They've even got an outrun seated version, which actually looks suspiciously like a tabletop cabinet version. So cut in the middle, then they've taken the bottom and turned it so you sit on a bit of MDF. I'm not particularly liking that one.
No, so they did have, and I don't think it's there now. If you click down on the bottom, and in fact, there's an Atari Legacy Edition as well. The Atari one looks pretty decent. Dragon's Lair, but if you click on the View All Machines, they actually had a Star Wars one as well. Sit down Star Wars one version, which looks better. So if you scroll down, limited edition Star Wars one, that looks.
I'll be honest with you, I'm sold on one there. Big Book World arcade machine with the guns.
Yeah.
Don't particularly like the game, but it's to have one of those games with the light guns on, so you can just sit there and just shoot. I mean, I'll never play it probably, but I like that really cool in a man cave. So that's arcade1up.com if you're in the US. And if you get yourself over to smithtoys.com for the UK, they're always out of stock by the looks of things. But
they're always out of stock. There's more coming in. But I think when I spoke to Arcade One Up last year, well, just before the pandemic, actually, they were saying they were looking for more and improved distribution for the UK. Now, I do know Amazon there's a limited supply on Amazon as well, but apart from that, they don't have as yet. Because if you look, there's about 4 cabinets there. If you go on the US, there's tons of them.
Yeah. I mean, I want that big book.
Yeah, the big book one looks good. I mean, I might get it in the UK. I might get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at $329.
Anybody in the US who fancies getting this delivered, guaranteed to their house, and then sends it to me, the big book? I'd be interested.
Yeah.
And there we have it. So, when are we going to see an arcade behind you then?
We've a tabletop. Well, actually, there.
You could slip one there. Yeah. I'm not too sure I would have put an arcade up in the loft because I don't think the floorboards would take it.
No, but you are doing out your garage.
Oh yeah. No, that's one of the reasons why probably this game will never get done this August. Conversion of the garage. So yeah, that is it for this week. My name's Dave.
And my name's Andy.
See you next week.
Bye.